So here is this kind of reverse wedge in Schlumberger. Then you have this double bottom, and does history repeat? I don't know. Zoom, I've been saying this for a while. I thought Zoom was going to go, the NASDAQ rallied 25%. And yet Zoom really, we got off a little bit off the floor, did go from 70 to 120. So I guess that is a bit of a, 60% rally or what have you, but it just looks like nothing on the chart. You can see this is still straight down, and it just in this area, it just never got over you. And then you had a rounding top here. And I was saying, that this thing is failing, all the way down here. So there was a bit of a thing here, and we just never cleared this level. There was a weekly kind of all these things here. And so we just ran into resistance, could never clear it. And now it looks like, we're clear for takeoff on the downside again. That, the low is around the $80 area. Now we're about 85. So we're in a bit of a tricky area. So, I would certainly take 50% of my position off. I can imagine that, you get some backing and filling in here, but I do think that we're going into a bear market. And I think these, these growth stocks are going to continue just going lower. Roku, Twilio, all of these names are just going to continue to get punched in the face. I bought some Schlumberger call options on the close. I made a hell of a lot of money in this Facebook play 2 years ago. Actually, it's more, 4 years ago. Time flies. In 2018, you can see Facebook had this reverse triangle. It fell out of here. It made a double bottom, and then it went on to make a new high. And right when it was making a new bottom, I was actually having lunch with some guy who said, what do you think about Facebook? Because it dropped from 195 to about 140. And I said at lunch, I said, this is going to go and make a new high. So I went home. I put on this bet. I bought the stock right there at about 150, went to 168. I pivoted out of the stock. Then it dropped. And then I bought these out of the money call options, the 180, 182.5, 185s. I remember buying these 185 call options for 30 cents, and they went to $4.50 on that run. I made about, almost 7 figures on this run. So here is this kind of reverse wedge in Schlumberger. Then you have this double bottom, and, does history repeat? I don't know. So I bought these 2-week, not this Friday, but the following Friday, I think it's September 2nd, the 38 call options. I paid about 88 cents last night. It's, again, you buy a call, it's on 100 shares, so that's $88. And so I think Schlumberger is slightly higher in the pre-market trading now. So I bought this based on, you have a bottom pattern here, and then you had this key reversal yesterday where you made a new low, kind of close toward the high. And, usually you say, you should wait to confirm, put a buy stop above the high, but I kind of jumped the gun. I bought some call options in yesterday's trading action. And it just looks like there's some white space that this needs to go back into and retest somewhere up in here.
Dude, Biogen bloody just went and crashed today.
Wow. Yeah, so this is something, yeah, look at that. This always felt like this had to go down. I mean, this is just a massive long-term distribution. It just did one more. And that's the thing, these markets, you think you got it, and then it's, so this is getting more and more fertile though. This is something where, at some point it really just starts de-risking itself. I mean, this is just a massive distribution. I mean, it's just all of this sitting on this 220 neckline, and you failed again. So now you got this key reversal right here, right where you had another one. And now it's just a question of, how do you chop wood between here and 180? But I don't know. It's like now this thing looks like it's ready to go, but it looked like it was ready to go here. And, this is a monthly chart, and these are, 3 months more of just, but again, the more this does work, at some point, it's just got to go.
When you've finished looking at everything, I wanted to scratch your brains on what's happened to the high yield bonds.
Yeah, they're starting to roll over.
Starting.
Well, they hit this resistance point. So I thought this also was like a, breakout or fake out. This somewhat broke out of this kind of ascending pattern, this megaphone pattern, and then it came right back into it. Yeah, this is something to keep an eye on too, because this is where the fun is all going to happen. So we kind of broke out here of this, and now we're back under the geography of this line. So I think this is just a giant trap. So this is what happened to Restoration Hardware and the semiconductors, and they just broke out a little bit, but I just had no faith that we were going to get above there.
What's the difference between a trading channel and these trumpet patterns?
Well, I just watch how things move within the cadence of these lines. Does it break out and sustain, or does it, fold? But, so this is kind of like a descending broadening. This actually should have implied that this sustains. But, that's the thing, it's like seeing something in a textbook and then watching it in the market. So I always, look, and see, does this kind of hold outside this area and then look like, so it was like dollar yen was like this for a long time, where it was playing just above the breakout. And I'm wondering, is it a fake out or a breakout? And, it just, the market will tell you. But this is, just a tremendous downtrend. It's to me, it wasn't going to just get, and the more, so, to me, the more everything was blue. We had 7 weeks of just a relentless thing. So it just tells me more and more that that's just short covering. When it just goes up and up and up and up, a market should, have a steady cadence. It just shouldn't be relentless. The more relentless it is, eventually it's going to run out of energy. And when it does, it turns the other way, vicious. And so all of this since June in the market, in these, just smelled of a short covering rally. And so, now, and I didn't think we would surpass that. So now we're just going back into the thing. And, if this starts coming apart, the world will come apart.
So you can see, 45 is 1.3 million.
$1.3 million short.
So pop out a profit for 118,000 there.
So you can see how it's going crazy now. You can see how the market just going nuts.
I bet like $1.6 million on this position. I'm showing right now $23,000 gain.